Good morning. Today is Wednesday. I think it's the 16th. Let's see. Yeah, it's the 16th. August 16th. And apparently the kids have started back to school. I was checking it out on the news this morning. And so you kiddies be safe out there. Oh, and it's done started raining. Y'all be safe and watch for traffic, please. Adults asking y'all to do the same. Watch out for the babies. Yeah, y'all give me a second. So this morning, I took out the Beyond Burger so that we can have our burgers. We had kind of a disappointment last night. I ordered through DoorDash from a place called The Snap. And when I was on DoorDash, there was nothing listed that indicated the food would come cold, prepackaged, and the portions were incredibly small. Now y'all know I can't eat that much. We're talking a very small amount of food that I can consume. And if I say the portions were small, the portions were extremely small. So I got a vegetarian chili. I was not impressed. It was extremely chunky. Beans, vegetables, fine. But some of what I couldn't even tell what some of the vegetables were. I did pick up on like a zucchini or something like that. But some of the vegetables were way too chunky, and I found myself sitting there like really chewing, and that was not a good feeling for me, knowing that I was eating chili. And I wasn't looking for a pureed or anything like that. I know chili is supposed to be chunky, but not to the degree that this was chunky. And then my husband, I got him, it was supposed to be a salmon meal, supposed to come with salmon and rice. And his food was $10. And the portion that he got, my grandson could have ate that. And I understand that, seafood in general is a little bit more expensive, but for the size salmon that he got, he didn't even get a full cup of rice. They put rice in there. He didn't even get a full cup of rice. So that wasn't even where our irritation started. My irritation started because when I reached into the bag, I'm thinking the food is going to be ready, because I didn't notice the portion sizes right away. Because I didn't take the food out of the bag. But here I am, ready to eat, and reach in the bag, and the first thing that I noticed is that everything in there was ice cold. And I'm like, what the heck? It's when your food is late or whatever, which the driver was really nice. My food wasn't late. But, if they're late, the food is like, at the worst, room temperature. I've never gotten like cold food. So this food was clearly straight out of the refrigerator, which prompted me to look at the packaging then, because I'm like, only time you get something out the refrigerator is if it's already made and it's in the refrigerator. So when I pulled out my food first, and I noticed that they had a label running across the top of it, sealing a container, and I'm like, this is like some My Fit food stuff. This is not like a restaurant where you would order food that's hot and ready to eat. And like I said before, there was nothing on the website that would indicate that the food was prepackaged and it would come cold, So then I pulled up my husband's food, and I was like, what the heck? This little itty bitty container. And I'm like, okay, where's the fish? And I'm looking, and I was like, are they serious? So I was irritated. I was very, very upset because this was dinner. So I kind of forewarned my husband. He had called me, and I was telling him, didn't really give him the whole skinny, but I did mention that the portions were small, and I would, be more than happy to give him my food, and he could just pick me up a salad on the way home. And so he was like, well, he doesn't know what the portions look like. He had a salad from lunch that he didn't eat, and he would just make it work. I was like, okay, no problem. So when he got home and I started showing him the food, he was like, did you call them? I said, well, at the end of the order, they always have you do a survey. So when I did the survey, I made sure that I told DoorDash how disappointed I was in the food that I received. I made sure to give the driver a really good mark, but I made sure to let them know that we would never be ordering from this place again, because I could cook food and put it in the refrigerator and meal prep myself. When I order food from somewhere, especially at the prices that we paid, I expect the food to be piping hot and ready for us to eat, not for me to have to microwave it. It was just ridiculous. So next thing I know, wasn't even paying attention. I wouldn't heated up my food, and I wasn't even paying attention to what my husband was doing. Next thing I know, I heard him on the phone. He was going off. So he was like, this don't make any sense, So anyway, the people at the Snap, just so y'all know what the name of the restaurant is, it's the Snap. And it is the equivalent to what I would think would be, I've never been to My Fit Foods, but at least when you go to My Fit Foods, you know what you're getting. With the Snap, I think it was misleading for them to be on a delivery service website with a whole bunch of other restaurants who have food that's hot and ready to eat when they deliver it. So, I told them, I said I did the survey and everything, but I didn't call. I'll just know next time not to fool with them. But the guy at the Snap was very unapologetic. According to my husband, his whole thing was, that's how they function. They just reach in the refrigerator and fill the order based on what people, fill the orders based on what people request. They don't actually prepare food there. And he said, but this is our first time ordering from y'all, and there was nothing to indicate that this is what we were going to be getting. And so the other thing that I told my husband was I should have took it as a sign when I'm reading on their website. And on the website, it specifically says, I kid you not, I cannot remember the dish, but when I remember it, I'll make sure I insert it in the video. But one of the dishes said, because the dishes, you're supposed to get a description. So one of the dishes said something along the lines of, it's hard to describe. You'll know when you taste it, or it's better if you just taste it, or something like that. Didn't give you any information about what was in the dish. Didn't give you, it didn't tell you anything. That was literally the description. So I should have took that as a warning sign not to order from them in the beginning. But what caught my eye was the fact that it said it was, they offer vegetarian options, which they do. They do have not just vegetarian lunch and dinner options, but they have vegetarian breakfast options, which I thought was neat. And I was like, So, and I don't know if you can order breakfast any time of the day, but it doesn't matter because I wouldn't be ordering anything from them going forward. So, yeah, my husband, he got right on the phone and called them. He was ticked off. And the guy, like I said, the guy just, based on what my husband was saying, he didn't seem like he was too fazed by us being displeased. And it was almost as if to say, well, that's how we do business. And my husband was like, well, I guess now we know. He didn't tell them what I said, because I was like, I ain't never ordering from these people again. This is misleading, da-da-da-da-da. So the other thing was, this is why, DoorDash, I've been using them for a while, since I first heard of them. And I like the service that I get from them. I have, it doesn't matter whether the drivers are late or whatever, because the way that our complex is set up, a lot of times they're late because they're not sure. Once they get to the complex, they're not sure where they're going, because the way the complex is laid out. But they always call, they always, you know, stay on the phone and make sure that we connect and things like that. And the young guy who delivered the food was so sweet. But DoorDash turned around and called. I gave it in front of my husband because I didn't want to talk to anybody. He called, the guy from DoorDash called. Well, first of all, let me back up. The guy from DoorDash called before the food even got there because I ordered a jalapeno cornbread with my chili. And so then when he called, he was saying, well, the Snap called, he contacted him and said that they were out of the jalapeno cornbread. Would I mind substituting with Benito chips? And those are potato chips made out of beans. And I was like, well, no. I said, they don't have anything else, you know, because I didn't want no chips. I wanted something that was actually supposed to pair well with my chili. And so he said, well, they said they don't have any other bread types. You know, he said, I just needed to know what you wanted me to do. I said, well, just tell them to go ahead and refund me the money for the cornbread. I don't want anything else. And they can just send the other. So he said, you just want the 2 items. And I said, yes. He said, okay, thank you. So he hung up. And then he called back after the whole fiasco. And he was talking to my husband. And he was very, very nice about it. He was apologizing. He said that, you know, he was sorry that we didn't have a good experience. And my husband kept making sure that he understood it wasn't DoorDash, that it was a restaurant. He said, you know, he understand. However, you know, to, you know, compensate us for having such a bad experience, they were going to issue us a credit. And so I was just like, what? DoorDash did it. The restaurant didn't even consider it. So kudos to DoorDash. Anybody who has never used DoorDash before, go and check DoorDash out. I will put my code in the I'll put my code in the video, so that because I think there's a way for you to get like a discount or something on your first order. But I'll let you know for sure when I post this video. The information will be in the video. So anyway, I'm pulling into this garage, and I will talk with you all some more a little later. But I definitely want to share that with you. DoorDash is awesome. We got they actually refunded us 50% of our order, and that, to me, that was more than fair. But I still believe that it should not have come from DoorDash. It should have come from the Snap, you know, at the very least. So I will do a screenshot of the Snap's logo, and I will most certainly put all the information for DoorDash. So I will holler back at you guys a little later on when I get off. Today I am most certainly going to have to go to the store because I'm out of creamer, and I used that coconut creamer that I bought for my husband, and I am not a fan. So I'm not going to pour my coffee out. I am going to go ahead and drink it, but it will definitely be with much displeasure, because I don't mind the taste of coconut. What are you doing? I don't mind the taste of coconut, but I am I don't know, it's just something about the flavor of coconut in my coffee does not work for me. So anywho, I'll holler at y'all this afternoon. What's up, everybody? It is 93 degrees according to my auto thermostat, and I am thawing out because we are always in the air. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope that you had a very, very wonderful day. I hope that it was productive and that it was pleasant and uneventful. Those are the things that I would like for my days. Not just today, but any day. So I'm off of work, and I am headed to the grocery store because I need to pick up some more creamer. As I talked about this morning, don't want to do a repeat of the coconut creamer. I did the best I could to get that coffee down this morning, but I was not a happy camper. So I'm going to get some more creamer, and I have to get a few ingredients for my Beyond Burger recipe. I decided what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to tell you. You have to wait for the video. Yes. So I'm excited because it is actually something that I had years and years and years ago when I used to work for United Healthcare. A friend of mine took me to lunch at this particular place, and just out of curiosity, because I really enjoyed the dish that I had there, out of curiosity, I did a search on the internet to see if maybe the recipe existed out there, because there was a recipe for Red Lobster's biscuits, I think it is. And so I just there were a few restaurants that had recipes online. So on a whim, I did a search for this dish, and voila, there it was. So I recreated the dish at home, and it tasted just like it did in the restaurant. This is an original recipe that was actually put out by them, which I was very surprised that they released the recipe, because the first time I looked for the recipe, I actually found it on their website. So that was pretty neat, because that told me how authentic the recipe was. So I am going to recreate that dish again, but I am going to do it with the Beyond Meat Patties. And I'm especially excited because I'm anxious to see how this is going to turn out, and we will see. So I will let you know, how it comes out, and I'm going to do screenshots, and I'm actually going to record myself preparing the dish. So there'll be a separate video for the recipe itself. And so what I'm going to do is I'll video myself preparing the dish, and then I'm going to put the recipe for the dish in the description box, and put I'll make sure I have everything that I use listed. So for right now, I have a stop that I have to make before I get to the grocery store, and I will be back with y'all in just a minute. Bye. Okay, hey y'all. So I had to stop at CVS, and I don't know if y'all have a CVS card, but I do, and I'm part of the rewards program for as long as they've had one, actually. And I don't have on any makeup today, I'm filling my eyebrows, but I got a coupon for $4 off Revlon, the Revlon Cosmetics. So I decided to get some lipstick, and I don't know if you can see that, but either way, I'll pull it up because I wanted to see what y'all thought of this shade. And so here's the color. I don't know if you can see that very well, but the shade is Plum Velour. Here's the shade and the number. And we're gonna test it out. So what you think about that? So what you think? It's not my typical red, but it's definitely in the red family. So y'all can see. I like it. I think it's cute. It's kind of like a it says plum, so obviously it's plum burgundy in that family. But I just thought I'd share that with y'all because I was able to pick that up for $4 off, which was pretty neat because it has a silky feel to it, and that's cool because because sometimes with my matte lipsticks I put like a gloss or some type of moisturizer on it, and you won't have to do that with this. And I don't know if that's Revlon's standard formula, but it's pretty comfortable for me. So I'm headed to the grocery store right now. Bump. There you go. And to pick up my ingredients and everything. So I'm excited. So you may hear from me before I start cooking, and you may not. I'm not going to do the whole video. I'm not going to do the whole recipe in this video. However, I will do a few screenshots of me in the kitchen. Not necessarily me per se, but just so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'll definitely include a screenshot of the final recipe so that you can see, you know, how it came out. Y'all excuse the glare from the sun. So, it's way in Houston and everything. I was gonna put my visor down, but anyway, so I'll do that. And if you don't hear back from me before I start cooking, I'll see you then. Bye. What's up, everybody? So I am back, and as you can see, I made lettuce wraps. So this is actually a play on the PF Chang's recipe that they posted online years ago. And as I stated before earlier in my previous video, that I was going to attempt to make the PF Chang's lettuce wraps again, but this time with the Beyond Burger. So now I have completed the task, and we're going in for a taste test. As you might have seen in the video, what I decided to do, because I did taste the mixture and it tasted like I needed to add a little bit more of the ingredients. One of the reasons for that is because the recipe calls for 1 pound of ground chicken, and the problem is that the one Beyond Burger patty is 1/4 pound. So I adjusted the recipe so that I only use one of the patties because my husband wanted to have an actual hamburger. So anyway, I wanted to try the lettuce wraps. So I adjusted the measurements for the one Beyond Burger, and then when I tasted it, I felt like it needed a little bit more of the hoisin sauce, the rice wine vinegar, as well as the soy sauce, a little sriracha, and I added water because the Beyond Burger does not really produce a lot of oil, even though the meat, when you're preparing it, comes across as a little oily. When you're cooking it, the oil cooks out pretty fast. So we're going in for the taste test. Trying to get one where I can actually not get a whole mouthful of lettuce and no filling. I see the filling close by, so we'll see. I can definitely taste the hoisin sauce and the rice wine vinegar. It has really good flavor. I'm not bothered at all by the Beyond Burger being used instead of the ground chicken. At the end, it was water chestnuts that I added with a little green onion. And what I'm going to do is I will leave the recipe in the description box. And then you can try it out. You can either try it out with the ground chicken, that is what it's called for, or you can try it with the Beyond Burger. If you try it, please tag me on Instagram, Twitter, or leave a comment on my Facebook page, or you can also come back and leave a comment on this video and let me know what you thought about it. So that's going to do it for me for the night. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my dinner. and we're asking you to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and try this recipe out. Make sure you let me know what you think. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, and that's going to do it for me for tonight. So love yourself and love somebody else. Take care. Till next time. Bye.